they tried it. The NCAA really did try to stop this man from going out there and showing his greatness with their little investigation, but they failed because yesterday, Sharif Cooper was finally cleared to suit up and play for Auburn, and he nearly dropped a whole double-double with 26 points, 9 assists, and 4 rebounds in a game against Alabama. And if you're somehow not aware of the investigation that I'm talking about, then just search up Free Sharif. I myself and many others made a video on the situation, but he's free now, so it's irrelevant anyway. But back to his debut, I'll be honest, I was not able to watch the full game, but I did catch the second half, and it was clear Sharif was the only reason the game was even competitive on Auburn's side. And if anyone had doubts about him and how his game would translate to the next level, he is looking just fine. I mean, he did have 5 turnovers and he could have shot better from 3, but for his debut, he did great. And compared to the struggles some other 2021 draft guards are having this year, yeah, Sharif is looking real good. And in today's video, we're going to look at Sharif's debut and how he can still become a 2021 NBA lottery pick, even after the NCAA stole 11 games from him to start the season. That's crazy, 11 games. But before I go further, what's good YouTube? Plug Speaks back with a vid. If you are new, first of all, welcome and subscribe. If you are also happy Sharif is free, then like this up and turn on noties. I drop bangers 3 to 4 times a week, and right now we are grinding to 5K by March, April, so I'd for sure appreciate it. But back to the video. So real quick, I want to explain why Sharif's debut was so impressive and why his 26-9 stat line is such a good look, even though they lost the game. So first of all, there was a lot of people anticipating his play, like the pressure was there. He was one of the most popular point guards coming out of high school last year, and yesterday he was number 9 trending in the nation on Twitter when news broke out that he was cleared to play, so a lot of eyes were on him. But then on top of that, like I said earlier, due to his investigation, he could not even play the first 11 games of the season for Auburn, and at first he was not even able to practice with the team, which was very bad because I don't care how good a player is, everyone knows that being unable to play games, especially as a player with something to prove, is not a good thing. And in Sharif's case, his peers were putting in work and being given the chance to go out there and try to improve their draft stock, while he was forced to just stay ready and stay in shape the best ways he knew how until the NCAA decided to stop playing with him. But good thing for him, whenever you genuinely put in the work, it will eventually come to light. And I'm not trying to overreact to one game, but he definitely exceeded my expectations considering he had not played a real game with actual meaning since he was in high school, so some rust can only be expected. However, he didn't show too much rust against Alabama. I mean, he started out slow as far as scoring, he had just 6 in the first half, but he was still very active. He wasn't just out there jogging, he was finding his teammates, he was playing defense. He was just an all-around factor. But in the second half, yes sir, that's where the fan favorite Sharif Cooper from high school made himself known. And I say that because this man dropped 20 in the second half off all kinds of buckets, some middies, a good amount of strong takes to the basket, even a step back from deep. He was just showing out on national television. Even John Morant tweeted at him about how he was going crazy. I mean, besides actually winning the game, his debut could not have gone better. But that's enough of me hyping up his debut. I just had to give him his deserved credit. But on to what I really want to talk about, which is how Sharif can still become a 2021 NBA lottery pick. And some of you may think this will be easy for him based on his first game, and others may think he has little chance at this. And I'm not on either of those two sides, but I do believe it will be harder than most people think. Because although Sharif balled out in high school and is now playing like a top 10 overall for his class, everything he proved in high school must be proved again at the D1 level. And this applies to every possible 2021 draft pick, but this applies to him even more because the man is 6 foot in height. ESPN may have him listed at 6'1", but out there on the court, he looks 6 foot at most. And so it's going to take more to impress NBA scouts than it would for a guy who plays worse than him but is 6'5", because NBA scouts really look for potential when they draft players. So don't get me wrong, Sharif's play in his debut was great, but it will take that and more to be taken high in the 2021 draft. And I also say that because of a few other things. First, his efficiency. We all know for point guards in the NBA, the ability to shoot the ball, especially from 3, is a must. And in his debut, Sharif shot 40% from the field, which is very solid, but he shot 1 for 7 from 3, which is not a good look. And I know this was just his first game, you gotta let him shake off the rust. I did not expect him to come in here and just play like Ray Allen. However, it is something worth mentioning. But on to the only other struggle Sharif had in his debut. The man had 5 turnovers. And obviously that's not a good look because Once in the NBA, his ability to protect the ball will be very important, but once again, I will not go too far into this because it was just one game and he did have 9 assists to go with it, and most of his turnovers were late in the game when the defense just refused to let this man keep having his way and keep torching them. But yeah, besides those 2 issues in shooting and turnovers, this man Sharif really balled out and you love to see it. I mean, I cannot stress enough how important this was, because if he had been out the entire season for the investigation, or if he were cleared but came back and had a bad debut, the doubts NBA scouts already have regarding 6-foot point guards would not do this man any favors for real. And even in the NBA today, it's rare that you see 6-foot and below point guards that ball out, and that's exactly why guys like Chris Paul, my favorite point guard, Kemba Walker, Isaiah Thomas, JJ Barea, and the list goes on, those guys are so impressive. And some things they all have in common that have allowed them to make a name for themselves in the big leagues is their ability to shoot, really score the ball, and stimulate some offense. And just off of his debut, Sharif already checks off 2 of those boxes because he can for sure put the ball in the basket, and he also knows how to put his teammates in position to score as well. So yeah, it's looking good, but even the heavy Sharif fans out there can agree we're gonna need to see that 3-point shot improve to around 35% at least for real. Anyway, I am about to wrap up this video. I just want to come in here with some Sharife Cooper hype after such a nice debut and explain his chances at being a lottery pick, because he does have a decent chance at being a top 10 pick. We just gotta hope no injury occurs, the NCAA doesn't come by with some more nonsense, and that he just keeps playing like Sharif. If all those things happen, then there's little reason to believe he is not taken high in the 2021 draft. His debut was that impressive. I mean, besides the scoring, he showed off some real defense, the passion for the game was there, just mostly everything you want to see from a 5-star recruit, and it was obvious he missed being out there on the court. And I already know the Auburn fans are really happy he's back, because their backup guy, Justin Powell, was doing his thing, but there is no replacing Sharife Cooper. He's just too nice with it. And they may have lost the first game of his return, but I would not bank on that continuing at all. Currently they're at 6-6, and they really are set to face some more competition like Georgia and even Kentucky, but we should all know what type of season Kentucky is having right now. They are really struggling, even with BJ Boston, who is projected to be a top 10 pick. So yeah, I just bring that up to say do not sleep on Auburn now that they have Sharif. And I'm not sure what position Auburn is in to be in March Madness and the tournament and all that, but I just know it would be very entertaining to see Sharif play at that stage. I'm not saying they would go all the way, because Gonzaga is looking like a lock to win it all, but it would be very entertaining. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up the video. Y'all let me know down below what you think about Sharif's 2021 draft stock. Keep in mind there are some other point guards like Cade and Jalen Suggs that have also been balling out their minds, and then other guys like Caleb Love or Jeremy Roach that have been pretty underwhelming, so just keep all that in mind. But that's it for me. I appreciate you all watching. Make sure to like the sub, share it, all of that, sub if new. Let me know what other college players you may want me to make a vid on, and I'm out.